My name's Youngman Charm. I'm in the Entrepreneurship department of Babson. My teaching focus is on entrepreneurial finance and managing growth in the early stage companies. Early stage, as I define it, is anything under $100 million, though.
But I want you to think now, if you were a mall employee, under what criteria would you choose where you got your coffee? Convenience.
I teach throughout the world. I've taught in Malaysia and India and China and on Hong Kong, throughout Latin America and Europe. If we talk about entrepreneurial thought and action, you take that language and you put it in the classroom. The classroom is not long speeches. It's about a lot of project work and thinking, singly and in groups in the classroom. That's very profound way of learning. It's much like what happens in the world.
I want you to focus on this.
Something for the children.
Something for the children. How many choices do I want for the children? You don't know the answer to that. You know the answer to this. One. So here we think we're in the retail business where choice is always what we hear about, but when you go specifically to the customer segments that we're discussing in this case, we want one choice. Why?
I think there are several competencies that are important to successful leaders. One is being an integrated knowledge person, because you can't just be a salesperson and be a leader anymore. You can't just be a production person. The problems are too great and too changing. Not only what's going on globally in the world, but just what happens in markets today, where business models are changing, tax rules are changing. So you really need to be an integrated thinker. I am a professional director and have been since I've been in my mid-20s. So I have worked on a number of public and privately held companies as one of the things I do professionally. I remember being on the board of an online company in the early stages of online. And what happens was that we raised about $80 million. And we were saying, okay, we now are set perfectly to develop our long-term strategy. The only problem was 92 days later, a company raised $125 million. So our long-term strategy and certainty of it changed overnight. And in that particular industry, the board then decided that it had to watch competitors at every monthly board meeting because change was so rapid, especially in the business model area. So one of the things that I'm very passionate about is trying to get leaders to understand how one responds in a changing world. It's one of the advantages of both being at Babson, in my opinion, and seeing lots of companies through my experience of being on a lot of boards. I've watched change all the time over 4.5 decades of being in business. And being able to help leaders understand that process, manage their way through it, and create wealth and other values that they choose to bring to the world is just a very wonderful thing. I love it.